If you're over 50 and you want to gain some muscle, don't go anywhere because I'm going to show you a great weekly routine to help you do just that. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties Specialist Physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today we're going to be talking about a great weekly exercise routine that can help over 50s to gain muscle. Now I'm going to show you the routine in just a moment, but before I show you it, I just want to make you aware that these exercises are not going to be suitable for everyone. Make sure you get checked out by your doctor before you give them a try, and if they cause you pain, just avoid them. Now that that's been said, let's have a look at the routine, but before we do that, we're going to go through the principles of how this works and how you can apply these principles to every single one of your workouts for best results. Let's have a look now. So here is what we're going to do to help you build more muscle over the age of 50. And before I dive into the principles of the program here, I just want to let you know this is not the only way to do it. This is just a suggestion from me. This definitely works, but there are other programs that work as well. So I'm not saying this is better than anyone else's. Now, here are the principles. I'm going to explain them in a moment and then I'm going to show you the exercises involved. So we're going to be working out 3 days per week. Personally, I just don't feel it's possible for most people to gain muscle mass if you're doing any less than 3 days per week. Maybe some people can, but in my experience, 3 days is what it takes. You're going to take ideally 1 day of rest in between your workout days. So you might work out on the Monday, on the Wednesday, and on the Friday, and then have the weekend off. That would be a perfect routine. Now for each of the exercises I'm going to show you, and we've got 8 exercises to go through, you're going to do 3 sets per exercise. And a set is a collection of reps that you keep doing until you put the weight down. Now when you do a set, we're going to take 1 to 2 minutes of rest, and then we're going to do another set until we've done 3, and then you move on to the next exercise. So 3 sets per exercise. Each set we do, we want to choose a weight that we can do between 8 and 15 repetitions each set. So let's say I'm doing the bicep curl. I want to choose a weight that I can do 8, but not more than 15. If I can do more than 15 repetitions, you're going to try and choose a heavier weight for your next set. That's good, that's progress. But if you can't do 8, then the weight you're lifting is too heavy and you need to find something a little bit lighter until you can just about squeeze out 8 to 15. This measure here, RPE, is rate of perceived exertion. So this is basically a score that determines how difficult you feel it is. And to make progress, particularly over the age of 50, we have to be pushing at least 70% of your maximum. Ideally, we want to be pushing you up to 90% of your maximum, but it's got to be a minimum of a 7 out of 10 in terms of difficulty for you to make progress. So you're going to make sure that every single set you do feels at least a 7 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. And then finally, to support your goals of building muscle, and this is so vital, we need to make sure that we're eating enough protein each day. Now this is a rough guide, it's not going to be suitable for everyone, but 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight seems to be the scientifically backed formula that will help you gain the most muscle. Now that is actually quite difficult to take in for most people in their diet. So you're going to have to really plan your meals in order to get this much in. The research says that between 1 and 2 grams per kilogram of body weight, you can gain muscle. Anything less than 1 gram per kilogram, you're probably going to struggle, I would say. But this is a good middle ballpark figure for most people to help them gain more muscle. So this is what we're going to be working off. I'm going to show you how to do the exercises now, and then I'm going to explain the program as we go. Again, I just want to let you know that these exercises are just suggestions, and I'm going to be doing all of them with free weights, which is things like dumbbells and barbells. If you have a gym with machines, you're absolutely fine to replace any of these with a machine if you prefer. Just make sure that you're working the same muscle group, and then we're going to tackle the whole body. So the first thing we're going to do is work our legs, and we're going to be working on our quads and our glutes. And the first exercise is called the box squat or the goblet squat. And the reason I've chosen this exercise for people over 50 is because even though the basic squat is a really good exercise, it's actually quite an advanced movement and many of my clients struggle with it. So this is a safer alternative that will still help you to build much more muscle in your legs. So to make this exercise work, you need a bench or a chair and a weight. And we're going to hold the weight tightly in to our chest like this and shuffle right to the edge of the bench so that we're just perched. Then we're going to bring our nose over our toes, keeping our back straight and stand up. And then we're going to reverse that movement back down as deep as we can go, touch the box, and then come back up again. So we're just perching just for a second. We're not landing hard. We're just getting to that box and then coming straight back up. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to keep that tension on the muscle throughout the movement. We don't want to stop the set and rest like this and then go again, because that takes the time under tension right down to an area where it's not going to be effective. So you're going to keep going 8 to 15 repetitions. If you can do more than 15 reps, you need to find something a bit heavier, but you want to choose a weight that you can do at least 8. We're going to do 3 sets. We're going to have 1 to 2 minutes rest in between sets, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise. So we've worked the front of the legs and the glutes. Now we're going to do our next exercise for the back of the legs, the hamstrings, again the glutes, and also some of the lower back as well. And I can't think of a better exercise for this than the Romanian deadlift. Again, I prefer this to the normal deadlift just because it's a bit safer for people who don't have great ankle or knee mobility, and it's a really important exercise for building muscle and strength. So I'm going to use just a stick to demonstrate, but ideally you're going to want a barbell. So a barbell is a long bar with weights on each side, and this is how the movement looks. We're going to stand with the barbell resting against the front of your thighs like this. You're going to stand tall, and then you're going to slide the bar down the front of your legs, keeping a stiff back and stiff knees until you get to the point where you feel a stretch in your hamstrings and you can't go any further. Then we're going to bring the movement back up into reverse. So then we're going to go down again, so slide it down, keep the tension on, and then come back up again like this. And you just keep that movement going. So we're slow on the way down and then reasonably speedy on the way back up. So we might want a time of 4 seconds to get down, sliding that weight down the legs. Hold just for a second and then back up using 1 to 2 seconds. Again, 8 to 15 reps in a row, 3 sets, and then move on to your next exercise. The next exercise we're going to do is one of my favorite ones for building strength and muscle in the back and in the arms as well, and this is the dumbbell row. So for this exercise, we're going to need something sturdy to put one hand against. If you're in a gym, you're going to use a weights bench. You can prop it up to an incline and have your hand against it like this, and in this free arm, we're going to hold a dumbbell. So I've got a small dumbbell here to use, but most people are surprised at how much weight they can lift on this. When I do this in the gym personally, I'll be lifting up to about 40 kilos in my hands, depending on how strong I am at the time. So you might actually be able to lift a little bit more than you think. So this is how the movement looks. We've got 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. We're supporting the body with the hand like this. We keep a nice, stable spine, relaxed posture. We're not trying to strain. And then we're just going to pull the dumbbell up so that it touches the body here and the elbow is coming back and then back down like this. Again, we come up, hold, and down. And what we should get is the shoulder blade should come back and retract, and we squeeze at the top like that. Now you can see that no other part of my body is moving apart from my arm, and that's exactly what we want. So we've got the back moving and the shoulder and the arm and nothing else. Now, when we do this rowing movement, what we shouldn't get is throwing it up like this. We don't want to be working our spinal rotators. Keep everything stable and just isolate the muscle to be worked. This is the thing about trying to build muscle. The right way to do it is to isolate the target muscle so that you just feel it in that area if possible. We don't want to be feeling it all over the body, because that means we're trying to use areas of the body that weren't designed for that movement. So again, you're going to do 8 to 15 repetitions, 3 sets of that, and then move on to the next exercise. Before we go any further, I just want to tell you about 3 Tip Friday. 3 Tip Friday is my weekly email that I send out to my list, and it features 3 of the most interesting things I've found that week. It could be a health tip, it could be a piece of research I'm reading, or it could be a new tool that I've found to be really useful for helping people get more mobile. It's totally free. I just send it out once a week. There's no annoying promos inside, and you can sign up for it by going down below this video and entering your email in the 3 Tip Friday link. The next exercise we're going to do is the dumbbell shoulder press. So for this exercise, you need a bench that you can sit back against like this, and you need some dumbbells to make it work. So we're going to take 2 dumbbells, 1 in each hand like this. We're going to have ourselves resting against that raised up bench, and then the starting position is here. We keep our chin and neck relaxed, so we're not straining forward, and then we're going to lift the dumbbells up, touch at the top, and then slowly come back down. And we want to come down so that the dumbbells just touch the shoulders there, and then again at the top, down and up. And you keep that movement going, keeping the tension on the shoulders all the time. You also get some work here to the back of the arm, the tricep. And again, we're going to work up once again to 8 to 15 repetitions. Put the weight down, have a rest for 1 to 2 minutes, 3 sets, and then move on to your next exercise. The next exercise we're going to do is the seated lateral raise, and this is another exercise for the shoulders. As we get through the program, what you should notice is that the movements get smaller and they get more targeted to specific muscles. And the reason we do it this way is that you want to start off with the big movements using the biggest muscles early in the workout, and then later on in the workout, the movements should get a bit easier as you get more tired. So the lateral raise just works the shoulders and nothing else. We're going to hold a dumbbell in each hand like this, sitting on the edge of a bench or a chair, and then the movement looks like this. We're going to bring the dumbbells out to the side, just above shoulder height like that, and then slowly back down. So we want to keep, again, our neck relaxed, and it should be the elbow that we're trying to lift up, not just the hand. Now, if you're watching carefully, you'll see that the dumbbells are drifting ahead of my body. I'm not trying to go right out to the side there, because for many people over 50, that will cause impingement. So do allow them to drift in front slightly. You're not going to jeopardize any of the muscle building attributes of this exercise by letting it come forward ever so slightly. And again, we're going to raise all the way up, hold and back down, repeating 8 to 15 in a row. Little rest in between sets, 3 sets of that, and then move on again. The next exercise we're going to do here is the bicep curl or bicep twists. We couldn't do a program without including at least 1 bicep exercise, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. Again, we're going to use some small weights, and we're going to do it from a sitting position because I find it helps us to isolate that muscle again. So we're going to hold the dumbbells, 1 in each hand like this, nice stable posture, and then we're going to bring both up like this, so that our fingers are pointing towards our shoulders, and then back down. Now watch how I twist the dumbbell as I lift. And the reason I'm doing this is because coming up to this position helps to isolate the bicep better than if we came up to that position. So we want it supinated, so the fingers are coming up towards us. And then when we're down, the thumbs are leading the way. So we curl up and twist, squeeze, and down. And you want to just keep doing this movement until you feel that burn in your biceps at the front of the arm. And again, we want to be working between sets of 8 to 15 repetitions. I would encourage you to err on the side of higher reps, so go further towards that 15 rep range. But once you hit 15 and you felt you could have done 16, 17, find a heavier weight to make sure that you're still challenging your muscle. 3 sets of that, and then move on to the next exercise. The next exercise we're going to do here is the dumbbell chest press. Now, you're going to need a weights bench to make this work, and I don't have one here, but I'm going to use my bed just to demonstrate. But ideally, you want a narrow weights bench that you can lie on with your head relaxed and rested, and 2 dumbbells in your hand. And your starting position with the dumbbells is going to be like this. Ideally, you'd have your feet on the floor. So you're going to start like this, and the movement is very simple. You're just going to come up to extend your arms, and then slowly bring them back down as far as they go. And then back up, and down, and up and down. And the muscles we're working here are the chest muscles or the pectorals, and also the muscles at the back of the arm, the tricep. So this is a fantastic way to build strength in your pushing muscles and to get you a bit more muscle mass in your chest region. So this is a great exercise to do, 8 to 15 repetitions. If you struggle with the weight you're lifting, or this is quite new to you, you might want to get someone to stand just behind you, just at where your head is, to help just to keep you safe and to guide that movement just while you get used to it, because we don't want you dropping a dumbbell on you while you're in the gym. But that's a great exercise to help you build a little bit more in the chest. Remember, 8 to 15 repetitions, little break in between each set, 3 sets over, and then move on to the next exercise. The next exercise we're going to do here is the calf raise, and we're going to do it using a step. You can either use your bottom step or you can use a block if you're doing this in the gym. When I'm doing this in the gym, I like to use a Smith machine, which is a rack with a barbell locked into it, which just moves up and down. And I get underneath it, put it on my back, and then do calf raises. But if you don't have access to that, you can do this with just a dumbbell. So what we're going to do is you're going to stand on the step, holding your weight, because remember, your weight is going to add to your body weight. And you can either start off by doing 2 legs, which for many people will be quite easy if you're already a gym goer. Or if you want a real challenge for your calf, you're going to stand just on one like this and go up and down, up and down. Notice I'm trying to drop my heel down as far as I can when I'm at the bottom of the movement, and then lift the heel up as high as I can at the top of the movement, keeping it nice and smooth throughout, trying to really get a nice contraction in the calf at the top there. So we should feel that the calf is contracting and working quite hard. If you're doing it in this way, obviously you're going to need to swap and do the other leg as well. So you're going to do 8 to 15 on each leg, 3 sets each leg, and then that's you done. Well done, great workout. I'll see you again in a couple of days' time. So that's a great weekly muscle gain exercise routine for people over the age of 50. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, do drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And if you want to get more from me, you can pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. It's got loads more tips and advice about how to build muscle over the age of 50 inside. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll speak to you on the next video.